Thanks, Shane. All right. Any questions already on this? Clear.
I have a
Yes.
question. So what are the things we would need in order to, make a commitment to set up a camp? Like, is there like some kind of a checklist that we need to check off before we can do that? Or is just our own conviction, okay, we're gonna make this happen and we're gonna commit to it and make a video of it? Or how does that work?
I would say the only checklist item, and it really depends on the structure you're operating within, is to speak to your team and get a green light from the team that you will do this together. But then no, that's why we're doing a commitment video and not a contract, because it's really an energetic commitment to, engaging in the process. So
are we going to do, when we go to the ticket sales, are we going to do a contract for that, Audrey?
yes.
You're talking about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the first step is to make a commitment video and say that you're coming, and then we'll do today, give you the login, and you can set up the info on the page. And then the second step, when then decide your ticket price, sign the contract for us to sell tickets for you, or yeah, I mean, sign the agreement. And then we go.
Yeah. The only legal contract here basically is so that we can all have clarity on the financial exchanges, right? Meaning we get the ticket money and then we pay you back your part, but that's it. Yeah. Okay.
So I have a thought.
Yes.
We're at a very early stage with Astralship. I've raised it with the crew, but the crew is very occupied. And one of the things is an event in London in a couple of weeks where we'll be presenting, and I might mention there that we're doing a camp for our UK regenerative audience. And it just made me think, like, people who are living in London, working in London, can probably afford a lot more than people who are doing land-based projects, and whether anyone is considering a dual pricing system based on bursary, subsidy, whatever, a way to make it cheaper for people who have less money.
So the way we've designed it so far is that the base ticket price is very accessible. It's 100 euros per person for the whole 5 days, access to the land, the whole thing. We're going to be making sure that some camps have a very inclusive ticket price, meaning as close as possible, if not at 100 euros. And then
But let me interrupt you, Audrey, because I think Liam's question is a little bit different. I think Liam is saying that he would like to have 2 different ticket prices for his camp. Do I understand that correctly?
That might be tricky. There might be a little bit of a different tactic based on what Audrey just said. But anyway, it would be good if we can sell prices that fund us to set up our camp and do stuff we would love to do as an option right now. I'm thinking about that anyway. But yes, maybe we can still bring people and they can be technically part of a different camp as a way to work around it. I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, Victor, you want to go?
So sorry. So did you agree with me or not agree with me that you basically want to have 2 different ticket prices, Liam?
We're very early stage. I'm just projecting now into how I might make it work financially. Another question would be about whether anyone's sharing their financial models. But at this early stage, I'm interested in that idea because I think there are people who can afford it, who would get a lot of value, who could pay like 300 euros or something for a ticket.
Yeah. Liam, I've got a good structure for that. And basically, what you do is you have your normal ticket price. Just say it's 333 is your normal ticket price. Okay, that's just for that's for everyone. What you do is you put a higher ticket price, which could be 444, and that will cover someone on a lower ticket price. So that means that only when someone gives, that someone else can receive those tickets. That way, it's a structure you don't have to change, and it's like a system that works. So that's a suggestion.
Yeah, really nice, Shane. That I was about to say. I mean, Liam, as an example, we have a music camp, which will have a lot of artists and musicians and so on. And those tend to get paid, right? To play, not to pay. So they're going to have a dual ticket price where exactly what Shane just said, basically. Some people will join the camp and will subsidize the ticket prices that are much lower for the artist or at zero.
I will, it's good that, thank you so much for bringing that. That's why we have these sessions, because I haven't designed the ticket selling stuff. And now I have this in my mind that the camp will have multiple tickets. I think as long as the ticket price is above the festival fee of 100, I think it's easy. It will become a problem if you set like, oh, you know, our discount ticket, you know, super poverty is 20 euros. And then you end up selling 50 of those. And the overall, so yeah, I mean, making it 100 is easy. And then, you know, but making it below 100, then we run the risk of how do we do the accounting.
Okay.
And we don't, but it's something we have to think about. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess intuitively what I'm feeling into is like, is it sort of scamming people to have the official price be high and then just make deals with people behind the scenes, or is that totally fine and it's just how you mentally frame it?
Sorry, I think you can be transparent about it. I mean, I think, Shane, if I understood you correctly, that's what you were saying. Is like you have to sell one of the higher ticket prices to subsidize someone who is not paying that ticket price, right? So
yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with just being honest about what you're doing. You know, like there's a consideration that, you know, the whole intention is to be able to support people that cannot afford it. And like you said, you're talking about UK. Like a lot of people who are coming to our camp are from the UK, and they can also afford a bit more. You know what I mean? So, and we've also got some beautiful musicians and things that are playing that also need to be paid. And I think that that's a fair structure. And then you could also have 5 tickets, which were that your camp could cover, right? It might just cover the 100, and they could actually just be for people who apply and have some sort of skill set that they're going to give to the camp some value. There's a million ways to do it. It's just basically the mathematics of it all.
I think feeling into it, that seems like the best way to have people be able to bring something, and then the people who work have lots of money but less time, they can buy the face value ticket price, which would be high for an awesome camp, and they don't have to do as much legwork to make that happen.
Yep.
The way, in terms of accounting, the easiest way to make this work is that basically the people who are, for example, not paying at all would be your team, right? And you add them to your budget as team members. And then you define your ticket price based on that, and you can be fully transparent in your camp page where it's like, we need to finance a team of 5 people, which includes 2 artists and I don't know, 1 camp leader. And that's, I think that simplifies the whole thing. And then the only thing that we need from you guys is clarity on the number of people, right? Like including team members, how many people are actually in your camp, so that we can manage numbers. But yeah, what did I want to? Let me just want to share my screen very quickly, because actually the way we've defined the budget templates really speaks to that. Like if you look at this, I don't know if you can see my screen. Here, right? Camp leader expenses and compensation, camp assistants, basically add a line there that's like 1 artist, 2 artists, whatever, all the people that you need to get paid or to not pay. And this makes your total camp budget, and you define your ticket price based on that, right? Yeah.
Have you got food in this one?
Sorry?
Are you doing food in that model?
No, this model doesn't have food, but you can add it. This is what I just showed is really like a basic template, Liam, that we designed for you guys, and then you add whatever you want to add in it. Super flexible. Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to carry on cycling, so thanks for listening in. Cheers, guys.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have a couple of questions.
Yes, go for it, Alex.
Couple of them are organizational, and one is kind of like a big one. So about organization, I asked about logos, remember, in the chat. And so Victor shared the link to the Google Drive and I requested access and still nobody opened it. So please open the access to the Google Drive.
Oh,
Or
really?
actually make it shareable.
Yeah, it should be. I'm surprised. Sorry about that, because I was sure it's world visible, because actually all of our folders are normally world visible.
Ah, but maybe you shared the 2022 folder, Victor. I didn't check.
Ah,
No?
I shared the wrong folder. So sorry about that.
No problem. Another thing is that because I missed the last event with the budgeting, can you please send me the recording in some way, like directly or like publish it somewhere? So because like yes, I also haven't seen it, so I think it hasn't been published yet. And yeah,
Yes, I will.
thank you. And once talk, I would want to actually ask everyone, and I would be super happy to talk deeper. I don't know, in upcoming days. I'm looking for what I call mobilizing story. You know, something that involves people and explains them like why and what and let's do it, you know, because I actually face in some sense I think a problem with my LinkedIn or social media in general, because LinkedIn is like my only social media currently. I don't see the results I want. Like it's too, how to say, it's a very long journey, right, of a small steps, but it seems to be much longer than I would expect. And currently I work with Travelhood projects, right? I don't promote our camp yet, but like the involvement on the projects is like tiki, very little. And I just thinking like, what would be the story even? Like, what would be the story to mobilize people, you know?
I'm gonna answer on the practical level, and then Victor, I'll let you jump in on the narrative high level. In terms of stories, Alex, there's one thing that we have that I'll send to you. It's in our press kit. We have stories from two camps that attended the 2022 gathering, and they wrote blog articles. They're really like kind of outlining the process to build the camp, but also like what they got from it and how they really harness that power. So this may be useful already to kind of help you build that narrative. And Victor, calling upon you to talk about the narrative in general, because I guess it's the narrative of our entire project, right? You're talking
Well,
about.
the narrative in general, I have this conversation from 5 to sometimes 10 times a day with different people having outreach calls. And I can say for one-on-one contacting people, LinkedIn works very well. So I'm like maxing out every week. I don't know, it's like 50, 100 people it allows you to add connections with. I have a robot which sends an automatic thank you for connecting for people who make a connection. And then, I mean, people who I see as like high value contacts, I say, would you like to have a conversation? Send them my Calendly. Like with you, actually. I mean, all of you are here because I had this conversation with you. So, yeah, I mean, I have realized I really enjoy it. I think I'm quite good at one-on-one conversations. How to translate that to a bigger thing. I think when we start selling tickets and it's more actionable, it'll become easier. Actually, I wanted to talk and show you the invitation which Eternal Forest has made.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's an invitation to co-creation, invitation to play. I think the important thing to pick through is how it connects with what you're doing anyways, right? So you're building this Travelhood community, and come, let's build the community, let's get together in person. And that's a really nice invitation because a lot of us are burned out on online, and it's very concrete. It's also what I find is inviting people, come to our camp, let's hang out in nature, is easier because it doesn't feel so salesy, right? It's not like come buy my product, come, join my paid community or something like that. It's much more of a come play kind of invitation. So it's actually really nice and easy for outreach. And then in that include an invitation to co-create. Right? It's not like come listen to some talks or like come hang out at the party. No, let's come and let's build a more beautiful future together. Unfortunately, my weakness is writing. I can tell you, like, I have 5-10 calls every day, people all over the world, young, old, very successful, running like 3 companies. Shane, I talked to this one guy. He's like, yeah, I studied all these companies. I got into village building. Now I studied 3 companies, one for building houses, one as an incubator. We're doing our first project, 360 houses, 500 hectares. Like, boom. And then like, I talked to somebody else like, yeah, I'm picking flowers and it's actually really good because I get to listen to and raise a lot and learn a lot. And so there is this undercurrent in all of these people. So, but it's really interesting because it's all over the place. But I really feel that there is this undercurrent amongst people of, I want to contribute, I want to do something to build to a better world. So this is the kind of, sorry, I see your hand up, Audrey. This is, I think, this kind of undercurrent story thread that we want to connect with. Right? We know we want to do better. We want to build a better world. And here's a whole bunch of other people that in all kinds of different ways are doing it, like that's what the real invitation is. It's not to an event, not to a party, not to a festival. It's to build a better world together. Sorry, Audrey. And then Shane.
I actually just wanted to call on to Shane to tell your story for this, because I from how I feel you seem to have a very sort of clear vision and alignment for it, and I think even more valuable is for Alex to hear what your story is for your camp, right?
And also, I was at the last event and I had a great time, which is why I'm so inspired for this one. I guess, Alex, like I would suggest just reaching out to one-on-one, because this is not you inviting everyone to a festival, it's you inviting people to a camp. And so it's about personal relationships and personal connections. So for me, I'm just like, we're a whole systems ecosystem. So I'm looking at the 12 pillars and then matching those with different talents that I know. And I've got a really good network. So I'm sort of starting with like a friend of mine's like MasterChef professional UK winner. And she's from Mallorca. She's English, but she's living in Mallorca. And I asked her to come and cook. And she said, probably, she's just got to get back to me. She's opening a new restaurant. So I'm starting with some interesting people, because then when I reach out to people individually, then I can have some very interesting conversations. But my strategy is really just to reach out to people I want to be involved in what we're doing in regards to Frequency Village and the larger spectrum. So yeah, and then they have friends, right? So what I suggest doing is focusing on people who you know would be interesting and interested, and then asking them to invite the people who they think would be interested. That's the most effective way, because you get a much higher sort of impact on that. The second thing is, like, we need to gather, and it's super fun to get together and share and dance and sing. And when you hang out with regenerative people, it's regenerative, because these people are doing that work in their world and in themselves. So I can say that the last event I was going through another stage of Kundalini awakening. When I arrived, it happened. Like, that was a trigger for me. So that was also very profound as well. So that was created by the frequency or the field that was present, and that's very powerful as well. So that would be my suggestion. And if you're on LinkedIn, bro, just look at who you like and who you think is interesting, and just reach out to them and say, hey, there's a really cool event in Portugal. The beautiful thing about being in this early is there's a lot of time to plan to get to these things. That's why we want to get on top of things early now. And yeah, that's my 2 cents anyway. Thanks.
Yeah. And I just want
Thank
to
you
add,
for
Alex,
sharing.
actually, I had a conversation last week with GLP Films, Nicole and Erika, who know you, and they were like, "Oh wow, Alex is building the camp, amazing! Like we need to go speak to him and so on." So it's funny because I feel like in the regenerative travel and tourism, there's a lot of, I don't know, cohesion, or at least it's a small word, so people really know one another. But there is also a lot of sort of enthusiasm and understanding of the value of coming together, because it's also what you do, right? Like it's your job to bring people into the presence and the embodied experience of traveling. So yeah. I mean, can I pass on to Guru quickly? Because Guru, I also feel like you have such a clear, yes, let's do it. I wanted to organize this similar event in India, and this is, I feel like you're really sort of clear on this. So
Yeah.
maybe you can share a bit with Alex.
I mean, I was sold with the concept of a gathering of tribes. When I realized you guys have already done an event like this, and when I looked at your website and the framework that you've used to, come up with the whole structure of how this would work, there's a lot of resonance I saw with what we were trying to do. And like, we did a festival in India which was of a smaller scale, 120 people, but I saw the connections that those events brought. And this is just another way of doing it, taking that to the next level, just focused on your own tribe instead of like everyone's that's coming to the festival. So I mean, you can do a lot of things. So you can literally find people who are aligned to your mission or the things, your values and what you believe in. And you can kind of sell them a story of, okay, if you want to if you believe in this, let's like get together, let's form this group, let's find solutions, and maybe make it actionable to some extent, but also like fill it with fun and like all this stuff that comes with festivals and cross pollination and networking and everything. It's much easier to talk to people who've gone to events, similar events, and like they get the gist of, okay, how powerful this could be. And you can also sell like what kind of people are coming into this. So I think the website that's been created now, like I can use that instantly and like ask my group and say, guys, just check this out, there are so many amazing people, camps that are being set up. Wouldn't you want to talk to them and like find out about what they're doing? And yeah, just I think finding commonality between what other camps are doing, what your objectives are, and the network that you're connected to. I think yeah, that could be really powerful in telling the story of this festival.
Thank you, Guru. Yeah, I'll just add one more thing and we can move on. But for me, Alex, I mean, people ask me a lot, why are you doing it? What's the point? What is this about? And what does success look like to you as the Gathering of Tribes core team? And I always answer the same thing, which is our only indicator for success really is whether all the people present and the initiatives present at the event will have been able to use that for their own success. So there's really this decentralized approach to like, what are your needs? And how can the fact that 800 people working in that space gather for 5 days, how can that support one or more of your needs? And that's it. So it's really just the value of the space, which is huge actually, but there's not much more than that. So in terms, I'm saying this because I think it's useful when you reach out to people. For me, it's worked a lot. The first question I ask is, what do you need right now? Is it financial capital? Is it knowledge exchange? Is it social capital? Which one of those? And how can we support that by creating that travel camp?
Thank you for sharing, everyone.
Like that. So media kind of place where camps can co-create the marketing. Or maybe you're not hearing me.
We are, but you just cut out a little bit. Can you repeat?
Yeah, it's whether there's like a high-low or some way that as we're going on this journey, developing our camp and our story, we can be sharing and basically ecosystemically marketing each other's camps and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
Victor?
Well, I mean, come to Discord. We will be amplifying. So the second you have your invitation and your ticket sales ready, we'll be amplifying. Also, we have a newsletter, so everybody who's building a camp is invited to add your links and parts to it as well, whether for invitation to the camp or just general things, right? So it's very much our intention is to act as a multiplier for what all of the partners are doing.
Yeah. Are you Twitter?
Sorry?
Oh, is there a Twitter? Is anyone handling Twitter? Because that's a good way to sort of do viral resonance type stuff.
Yeah, we just created our accounts though. We were a bit late on the Twitter game. We created our account last week, but we don't have it.
I guess the summer is going to be really when the prime sort of booking thing needs to happen. I mean, great if it happens sooner, but if it gets to early summer and we don't have too many bookings, it's not time to panic yet.
I mean, obviously for us in terms of cash flow, the earliest the better. But yeah, we're gonna start selling tickets now in the next week or so. So yeah, I'm thinking late spring would be great.
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously getting some in soon would, for everybody, reduce the anxiety. Just the organization and getting vehicles down to Portugal for us it's quite a commitment to do that. So just like basically there is no problem with, as long as like we're being transparent with what we're doing, we can be creative with our pricing strategy, etc. And maybe change things as we go, offer discounts, whatever we do, make it up as we go along, as long as we're transparent and everyone's good with it, it's fine.
Yeah, the whole system basically, Liam, was set up so that every camp and the organization that's around it can be managed as its own little holon, right? It's completely decentralized. So yeah.
Just in regards to tickets, Liam, you said like make it up as you go. Just to be clear, I would be really structured with your ticket prices and really clear on what you've got. You can incentivize people for buying tickets early. So, for example, give a 20% discount, or start with one price and the price jumps up 20% as goes along. So, and just make it by the number of tickets, not by the time. Yep.
Thanks, Jane. Yeah.
We can add extensions to our camp as we have more budget, potentially in the later stages. So stretch goals.
Yeah. Also, in terms of logistics, Liam, I mean, you may, I imagine you want to bring a bunch of things, but we chose the land partly because it's so close to an airport, so that people can actually find and take an Uber direct to the land. So that's an important one, also for Londoners.
Yeah. For the stuff, though, there might be at least one thing.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless there is any other questions, Victor, should we get everyone set up on the platform?
Yeah,
I think do that now. Yeah.
I think it would be nice. So let me I'll send you the magic login link, and then you can send your so here, then you can set your password. Okay, here is, sorry. Okay, here. Oh shit, working. You can actually, maybe the easier thing is if you can go to the page, I will put the links and do password reset. I shared the link here. It's 2024.gatheringoftribes.earth. So it's visible on the internet, but we haven't published it yet. So it's not, it's visible, but not visible. Oh, I can do it like this also. So that's Alex.
And then just to kind of repeat myself, but once you have your access, the process is you can click on the Eternal Forest Camp, which is the one that Victor showed earlier. You can already start either transferring or writing your invitation, the details of your camp and so on. And then we'll be setting up the ticket sale system. But if you already have your ticket prices and so on, you can communicate that to us as well.
So were you, Shane, Alex, Guru, were you able to get in?
And is not.
What exactly do you mean by getting in? Maybe I missed something because opening the link, yes. Anything else? No.
Yes. So if you open the link, I sent you a login link, so you should be able to log in, set your password, edit your
Okay.
profile, edit your cam.
Okay, let me check.
Victor, I think there's some kind of a error. I'm able to see Hira's profile actually, not my own. When I click on the icon of the profile picture, it's not my profile.
Okay, maybe I sent you the wrong link. I'm sorry. You're just next to each other in the Airtable. I probably made a mistake.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry. You are same geographical area, but you are not Hira.
Yeah, now I got it.
Cool. So there you can see, you can edit your profile and you can edit your camp profile.
One question, it's got the name and it's got underneath the company or the project. Where do we fill that in? I couldn't see that in that.
Can you screen share?
Sure. Yep. So where it says Travel Hood Eternal Forest Region Tribe, for example, see that? If I go into my profile and I edit it, I'm just wondering where that goes.
Yeah.
Like I can't see a spot for it.
Realized a mistake I have made. That's why it's better to do this stuff live. Can you reload the page?
Yep.
Guru, Alex, the camp leader. Do you see now information? You should have a green strip at the top, not blue.
Victor, Shane in the people tab wasn't assigned to Frequency Village as a tribe, so I just did that. I added it.
Also needs to be a camp leader. But yeah. That's why I like to do these things live with people, because I can immediately fix it. And now do you see? Might need to log out and log back in. I'm not sure, but maybe not.
Let me see.
So
Yes, it's there now. Perfect.
yeah, each of you should have a green menu tab.
Oh, great.
That means you're a camp leader, and then you can edit your camp.
Beautiful. Thanks.
By the way, Alex, we're going to see each other in person soon. I really look forward to that. Let's put some time in the schedule and we can brainstorm and co-work on your camp.
Yeah, I will message you soon. Like last week has been a bit crazy because of the relocation and everything, but let's get in touch again.
Yeah. So now you're going to be, for how long you're going to be in Mexico, or you're still not sure?
We fly to Estonia on 25th. So we're just gonna see a bit of Regen Week and Amsterdam and then Tallinn.
Okay, good. So we effectively have 2 days, 23, 24 overlap. So that's good. So let's plan to meet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking maybe I can even catch up with you in the airport. Like what are your transportation plans in this sense? Let's see.
There you go. I just got a transportation plan. Manifestation.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. So anything else that makes sense to discuss today?
I just want to ask, guys, Guru, Alex, Liam, and Shane, if you're set up now, you can, as we said, you can already start writing and set everything up. And then if you could communicate either your camp ticket price, Shane, I feel like you've got that sorted, or reach out to us directly and we can have, I can help you out with defining that if needed. And then we'll just keep you updated. Basically, we're going to be working on the ticket price and the payment setup, and we'll drop you a line as soon as that's ready. And and then we roll.
And we still need commitment videos from. The one from Shane? Did we settle in it or not?
I asked you if you had received it because I did upload it, and you never got back to me. So just maybe let me know.
So
let me check now. Yeah.
Updated, and from you, Guru, we also need a commitment video. Do you know how those work?
No, I still need to work with the team. Need to fix a lot of things in the background first before I can do that.
All right.
Yeah.
No worries. But you know what the process is.
I don't know. It's just recording a video, right? And yeah, okay. And I communicate the price, but price will depend on a lot of things, and that needs to be finalized still. So yeah, probably that'll take a bit more time.
Cool.
Liam, did you make it to your mountain? Almost.
The last bit. I think I'm going to, if everyone's okay with that, your side, record it live on stage at the RSA on the 15th. And then I will segue into my presentation in case anyone wants to stick around for that. Some kind of creative strategy.
Yeah.
If that's cool, I'll do that.
Yeah, and that would be amazing. I mean, the whole point of all of this is to be playful. So I love that. And we're so used to systems and squares and boxes that we struggle to be playful. But the gathering is here to free you, to free all of us. And I wanted to share one thing that I really love. For example, already people being experimental and inventing things which I would have never come up with. Religio DAO, who said that they want to participate, but they don't have the energy to make a camp. So instead, they're inviting us. It's not up on the website yet. This is your preview. They're inviting us to a Camino. So after the gathering is over, a bunch of us will walk to Camino de Santiago, which is a week's walk from where we are. So I really love that, with playing with the idea.
Super nice.
I mean, that's great. I did that a few years ago.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
I've been wanting to do it for a long time, so
So epic. It's amazing.
now is the time.
Yeah, Shane, I got your video, by the way. I was just trying to download it. But yeah, got it. Thank you.
Brilliant. All right. Cool. So good nest.
Thanks, everybody. Have a
Thank
good
you
day,
so much,
beautiful week.
everyone. See you soon.
Yeah.
Ciao,
Thanks.
ciao.
Thanks, everyone.
With me
Bye-bye.
arriving at my destination.
What a timing.
The whole
So-
nest was.
Why don't you arrive at your destination and check that you can log into the portal? I mean, we're here anyways for a little while. And yeah, thank you, Guru.
That's to de-sweat.
I can stop recording now.